With all of these star pitchers going down left and right, many would consider this the most dangerous era in baseball. I mean, you've got a guy like Garrett Cole, who has been dealing with elbow problems all season. And sure, the Yankees might still look like one of the best teams in baseball, but imagine how much more dangerous they would be with Garrett Cole in their rotation. And you've got a big name like Spencer Strider, who's coming off of a 20-game winning season. He finished 4th in Cy Young voting and was an all-star for the Atlanta Braves last season. He's the reason they had such a good regular season. Without Spencer Strider, this Atlanta Braves team does not look the same at all. And unfortunately for them, after 2 or 3 weeks, his season is done. He is shut down. He is going to need elbow surgery. And it doesn't stop there, because another superstar who is also going to need surgery is the Cleveland Guardians pitcher, Shane Bieber. He's going to need some Tommy John surgery. He'll be out a while. And it doesn't end there, because stars like Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer are yet to even pitch this season, just because they're also coming off some major injuries. So with all of these star players going down, there needs to be a few that rise through the thick of it. And I think I found just the guy. A starting pitcher for the Oakland A's. Yes, one of the worst ran franchises in all of Major League Sports has themselves a hidden gem. And while the A's might be terrible at just about everything, the one thing the A's thrive in is developing their talent. As we've seen time and time again, the A's have gotten, minor league players from other teams, built them up through their system, have them in the major leagues for about 3 or 4 years, and once they start to look really good, really hit their stride with the A's, they decide to trade him away before that first big contract hits and get more minor league players in return who are very talented. And this cycle might seem repetitive and not accomplish a lot. Well, the truth is, it doesn't, right? They'll make a run, maybe a wild card run, maybe even the second round before trading away these star players because they don't want to have to pay them. And here we see that cycle continue with Paul Blackburn. Yes, that is the starting pitcher I'm talking about, who has been dominating the majors since the beginning of the season. Now, before we take a deep dive into how Paul Blackburn is playing this season for the A's, I think it's important that we pause, stop the video, so you guys have time to like and subscribe to the channel. Every subscription helps a lot. We're on the road to 3,000, so how about you just subscribe? But anyway, we'll take a look at Paul Blackburn's past. He was a first-round pick in 2012 by the Chicago Cubs, and he came straight out of high school. This guy was the real deal, a big prospect his entire life, and now he's reaching the majors straight out of high school. And of course, he'd be stuck in this minor league system till about 2016 when he was traded a few times and then ended up on the Oakland A's. And he would be on the A's roster for about 4 or 5 years before he got his real opportunity. And that came in 2022 when Paul Blackburn played 21 games for the Oakland A's. His ERA wasn't too high. It sat at about 4.28, but the A's weren't really good in 2022 either. He ended up having a season in which he had 7 wins, 6 losses, and was able to make the All-Star team. Is it because every team needs a representative and the A's were absolute garbage? Maybe, but that's still, he was still the best player on this team, which is why he got an All-Star nod. And that brought us to 2023, where again, he had another opportunity to start for this team, and he took full advantage of it. Played in 21 games, started 20 of them. His ERA went up a little bit, 4.43. He had 4 wins, 7 losses. But what A's pitcher didn't look bad last season? Every single game was nearly a loss for the Oakland A's. It was absolutely ridiculous. However, his other stats did look pretty good these first 2 seasons in which he was actually a starter. You see, he had over 100 innings pitched in both seasons, which is very difficult to do, especially nowadays, as like I said, pitchers are getting hurt constantly. And a whip of about 1.2 and 1.5, but whatever. We'll move on to 2024. The reason I'm talking about Paul Blackburn is because in 3 starts he's made for the Oakland A's this season, he's looked fantastic in every single one of them. As an A's fan, I truly believe that there was no real bright spot for this team, and we were just going to have to thug it out until, I don't know, 2028 when they finally reached Las Vegas. But here we have Paul Blackburn playing out of his mind in his first 3 starts, and I hope that the trend continues because this video is coming out right before his 4th start, and so if he's able to play really well there, yeah, it's basically solidified that Paul Blackburn is going to be amazing for the A's this season. Maybe he won't keep up this same momentum of not allowing any runs, but he will, have a good start to the season, and I believe he'll be able to carry it through. Everything I've ever seen from Paul Blackburn has just been building blocks for this moment. The glimpses in brilliance that I've seen from Paul Blackburn over these 6 or 7 years is finally coming to fruition. There's a reason this man was drafted in the 1st round straight out of high school, and that's because he has real talent. So to see him finally hitting his stride at the age of 30, what a story. Now let's get to the first game of the season for Paul Blackburn. That was on March 31st versus the Cleveland Guardians in a game where the Oakland A's ended up winning 4-3. It was a big game for the A's because throughout their first 8 games, they had only won once, and that was when Paul Blackburn started. Maybe because he pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 runs versus the Guardians, only allowed 1 walk, and had 3 strikeouts. He shut this Guardians offense down, something every other pitcher on the Oakland A staff struggled with throughout this 4-game series, was holding the Guardians offense down. Now, the A's production on offense has also been lackluster, but in this game for Paul Blackburn, they were able to perform. They put 4 points on the board, and that contributed to the first win of the season for the Oakland A's. Now, this A's team is so bad that their second win in the season wouldn't come until Paul Blackburn had his 2nd start, and that was against the Detroit Tigers. In this game, Paul Blackburn pitched 6 innings for the Oakland A's. Again, he only managed to give up 3 hits, this time 0 walks and 4 strikeouts. An even better performance from his initial one back only a week ago, right? So now these are 2 back-to-back performances from Paul Blackburn where he absolutely balled out for the A's, and they are the A's first 2 wins of the season. A bit ridiculous. Now, in the time from the 2nd game to the 3rd game for Paul Blackburn, the A's also managed to pick up a few wins and have caught a little hot streak as of recently. They are nearing 500, and that would be a spectacular feat for the Oakland A's, especially if you've watched any baseball from them for the past 2 or 3 years. And them reaching 500 would be a big feat on the season. Let's get to his 3rd start this season and the reason I'm making this video. After the first game, I thought, okay, maybe it's just a fluke. Maybe he had 1 good game, but I doubt he'll be able to carry it on. And then after the 2nd game, I'm like, okay, maybe Paul Blackburn is just getting a little lucky here, but who knows? Maybe these just are a few anomalies. But after this 3rd game, I really bought into Paul Blackburn and what he could be for the Oakland A's. A true ace, okay? Because after his 3rd game, he's really shown the rest of baseball that he is the real deal. He played against the Washington Nationals in a game where the A's, guess what, won again 2-1. This time in 10 innings. That game did go to extra innings, but it wasn't Paul Blackburn's fault. He pitched 6 1/3 innings versus the Washington Nationals. Can you guess how many hits he gave up? Well, 5 this time, a little more than usual. 2 walks, still only had 4 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. Something that has been very consistent with Paul Blackburn is that throughout these 3 starts, he has given up 0 earned runs. Hell, 0 runs in general. And that's put his ERA at a perfect 0.000. Now, will that last forever? Most definitely not. With the way that baseball works, this streak will come to an end sooner rather than later. But after, 5 more starts, tune back in with me, okay? Come back to this video, and you'll see just how right I am about Paul Blackburn. He will be the ace for the Oakland A's. Hell, I might just make another video about him after a month or 2 when he's really caught in the attention of the rest of the media. Once, the rest of Major League Baseball has caught up to who Paul Blackburn is, I'll have to make another video about him. But anyway, that's about it for this one. I really just wanted to talk about the rise of Paul Blackburn because he is hot right now, and who knows how long this will last. I mean, I think he'll be able to carry it out throughout the rest of the season. But let me know down below if you think this Paul Blackburn run is just a fluke or if he is the real deal. Like I said, catch y'all later. Much love.